we're at quarter-final stage here. From 𝗠𝗁𝘃𝗀𝗃𝗁𝗃's or Stevie Dempsey's perspective, to win this tournament, 3 long matches ahead of them. So 𝗠𝗁𝘃𝗀𝗃, one of the players that has probably been through the ringer the most. His matches have been incredibly long. Benefit of this match, perhaps, for Carl and Stevie being on the match clock. It can't take as long as it has been for Carl. First chance then goes 𝗠𝗁𝘃𝗀𝗃's way. Red underneath the 8 ball does go, but access to it not ideal. Doesn't like it.
Yeah, and this is where it'll be interesting to see how Carl approaches this match, because he's spent every single match so far in this tournament, and you've got to give credit to him. The bloke has got some stamina. He spent a lot of time out on the outside tables, and in a moment like this, he'd be another minute, 2 minutes here, taking his time and lining up where he needs to go next. Now, you'll see here that 𝗠𝗁𝘃𝗀𝗃 doesn't necessarily need to do that, because he can play on a 30-second shot clock very well. But when he's not forced to, in these sort of timed conditions, he will always choose to take as much time as possible to get himself set and sorted. And it's interesting how well he'll adapt there. But the same, to be fair, goes for Stevie Dempsey, who we see him manage the clock so well under timed conditions, but actually when he's not forced to, he really does like to get into the weeds and take his time.
There's a lot of players like that, but I think there's a real benefit to improving the natural pace of your game, so that when you are onto this sort of situation, it's not a jarring change. He's worked these really well.
He has, yeah. He's just got a shot to play. And at this level, you've got to be fancying yourself for this. But it's just an early tester. Use it perfectly. You also notice there off the rail, 𝗠𝗁𝘃𝗀𝗃 essentially playing that shot one-handed. Doesn't bridge. He just uses his hand as a guide. He's got no thumb on the exterior of the cue.
It's a very strange technique that works for him. I wouldn't advise it, because it's hard to cue straight and doing that, but it works for him.
Yeah, and he's always played down his sort of, I don't know what you call it, like his raw sort of cueing ability, 𝗠𝗁𝘃𝗀𝗃. He always says, I've never been as good a technical player as all these players that he's had to compete with over the years. When he first came through in the late 90s, you think of that golden era, your Potts, your Mellings, your Hills, your Twists, all of them unbelievable cueists in their own right. And Carl never really felt like he was in that same category, but he found his way to make it work and to achieve a lot of very, very fine results. He was a #1 player for over a year in that era.
Yeah, he's a canny player. Really grinds it out when he has to. Every match so far this week's been a 3-setter apart from one against Kyle Cope. He's really had to go through the ringer.
In a strange way, I almost think he doesn't really see it like that. I think his opponents probably do.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. When you've played a match against 𝗠𝗁𝘃𝗀𝗃, he really puts you through it. I spoke to him after his last victory, and against Joe Prince, which was a deciding frame of a deciding set. I think he had to come from, I think it was 4-2 down or 4-1 down in the deciding set to get the win, and he was sort of, you know, he was, I hope I get a break now because I've not had a chance to eat. I've been playing all day. He was on at 9 AM, but that's the nature of putting, you know, players through it and it being slow. But he did get about an hour and a half to go and get some food.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how he goes here. It's a little bit of a marquee performance, to be honest, this weekend from Carl Morris. First quarter-final in a little while with Ultimate Pool. He has been defeated in this tournament. He has had a life, so too has Stevie Dempsey. They've both had to come through the loser's side.
It was Callum Singleton that did for Carl Morris in the winner's side. That was in a winner's qualification match. He only had to play one match in the loser's side of the draw and was able to do that fairly quickly for his pace at 2-0 this morning.
Yeah, for Stevie, on the other hand, he came through in round one. We saw that match on Friday against Ben Doyle, 2-0. He was then beaten by Chris Day in a decider. It was a really close match, 5-4, 3-5, 5-4. Chris Day got the win. So that was in the second round when Stevie's had to really war his way back through the loser's side. 2-0 against Phil Parkin, 2-1 against Neil Rayburn in a deciding frame in the deciding set. 2-0 against 𝗪𝗓𝗪𝗵𝗵, but that doesn't tell the story. It was 5-4, 5-4. And then this morning, 2-0 against Brian Halcrow in the last 16. That was a touch more comfortable, at least on scoreline, for the Hammer, who's played a decent enough shot there. He's just got to play a cue ball here on this 8 ball for 1-0.
He might accept distance here and drop this in somewhere just short of the break line. Yeah, you actually got to hold it better than that.
John McAllister's won his second frame of the match, meanwhile, against Declan Brennan. We'll take to that match in a moment as Stevie Dempsey has this 8 ball 4-1 apiece. Excellent start from both players, Houdini and the Hammer. It's level pegging after 2 in the quarter-final. Let's look ahead then to the other match, John McAllister and Declan Brennan. Declan 1 set up, but it's all square in the second set. John McAllister in the box seat here in set 3. Yellows are tricky here. John must have a plan. How do you just deal with that? Yellow on the left-hand side, the one below it isn't easy either. I think the one by the 8 ball might only go right centre.
You get matches like that where everything you can try and do, it just feels like hard work.
Big break from Houdini, he's got a ball. That's all you can ask for, really. Finish that requires a bit of work. I think it'll be yellows. Because I think there's a really annoying red on the left side of the table. Whereas yellows all have a pocket. It's just about finding the right pattern. It's something Carl is very, very good at. He's a very, very clever player.
That's okay. That yellow goes through the gap. He looks upset, but pretty sure that goes through the gap so he can rework this. He was trying to slide by it, of course, and come down. Not the end of the world. The only reason that playing that one, that was his connection to the yellow that's furthest up the table now on the cushion. So he wanted to slide down so that he could either potentially have played into that yellow or left the one he's just played to right centre to be able to get back across for that yellow. So he still has a window to play, but just having to go a different way around. I thought he'd go the other way around, so play right then left and just leave the half ball and come up the line for the yellow, but he's going this way around, so he's going to screw the gap. Doesn't really make much odds other than, you know, you do sort of bring in centre pocket going this way around.
A lovely shot. That is pretty much perfect from Carl Morris. Yeah, what a start. Absolutely perfect from Carl Morris. 2 frames he's had a go at. He has taken both of them out, and with aplomb, really. And you have to say, for Carl, who probably feels nowadays that he's got almost a little bit of a point to prove. You know, on the Ultimate Pool Pro Series, and you've seen all the newcomers come through and play a slightly different brand to him, and he knows he's almost like the odd one out in a way from a slightly bygone era and all the rest of it. But I think he really enjoys the challenge, and the fact he's gone through to a quarter-final will really help him, because now he'll feel like he's right in the tournament and playing his best stuff. You mentioned, you know, he's had to really war and get through a lot of matches, and it's been a grind, but he won't mind that. Because one, he's got the stamina, we know that, that's how he's played his tournaments for the last 30, 40 years. But for Carl, what that is giving him is time on the table, and he gets more of his sharpness and practice actually from in the tournament towards the end. He's only going to get better as the tournament goes on. Yeah,
I question how much he practices. I suspect it's a bit more exhibitions and then tournament play. But yeah, he can be a kind of almost a different player in the main arena to the outside tables in terms of his brand of pool as well. He was saying that I was going to see a dry break here from Stevie. He was saying that he just felt the balls weren't opening up as much as he wanted to out, and that's why he was in longer matches. They've opened up for him in the early going here.
Yeah, haven't they just? Haven't they just? As I say, the 2 finishes that we've seen so far from Carl have been flawless.
Extension call.
Really, really good. Looks sharp.
This one looks a slightly higher tariff though. The red that's tied up above the break line is awkward. Not a great ball. I mean, there is the ball at the top's a great ball to break it out, but not a great ball to play perfect to break it out. And then the red on the left-hand side. So I think that's the reason why he's decided yellows is the way. But yellows obviously have their own issues, and I don't think he's taken yellows to not go game right off the bat. No attempt to play any sort of position there. Take yellows, open those 2 up. Easier to deal with the yellow at the top of the table than the red.
Yeah, don't mind that at all. One thing you would say is, for how much we talk about how Carl loves to get himself in the weeds of a tactical battle and almost like a shark take his opponent into deep waters. Oh, Stevie Dempsey is a swimmer. He doesn't mind going there.
Yeah, agreed.
He'll go in there as with anybody. He's a fantastic tactician. Could make a case here. 2 of the smartest pool players on the tour going head to head.
Yeah, you absolutely can. Pool IQ very, very high.
Extension call.
Sense the loss of turn coming. Where's he leaving the cue ball? Middle of the table actually plays okay from here. I'm surprised that he's left the cue ball there. I thought he might play that with a little more pace and get the cue ball above those two yellows in the middle where there would be no pot on. He was, I mean, the pace he played it out, he's not played it how he wanted to. He wanted the red to stay over the pocket, but the pace he played that out was almost, you know, I'm going to give you a couple of options to pot and tease him into going. But the problem with the red not staying over the pocket, you might just get them. Time to go up. Love a little flick on the red. Not good. I think he's track up higher to be straighter on the yellow to top left. Not straight, but straighter to be able to then open up the other yellow. He's just had a look to see whether he can get to the potting angle. It doesn't look like it from our camera angles, but maybe there is just enough. Don't believe he even tried to pot that one. Cagey little battle, this one. Both players playing some good shots here.
Yeah, we knew we'd get one of these frames at some point.
Oh, without a doubt. So Stevie gets ball in hand. It should be the chance he was looking for to go and win this frame. Cool.
Couldn't have been any closer, could it?
That was quite incredible. Nearly potted the 8 ball.
He absolutely pumped it into the jaw. It's a lovely little touch.
I didn't know if he needed me. Obviously, he must have needed to do it. It looked like he was straight enough just to pull that back top side of 8 ball. If he didn't have, if he was too much angle there, that was an excellent control shot. Always a very animated player in his corner, even if he's not the one at the table. He can be sat there and give away a lot. 2-2.
Yeah, good game this.
Second half of the first set as well. It's really ticked along that tactical exchange.
Just a reminder, just by way of comparison.
I know where you're going.
It was 4-3.
Yeah.
Between 𝗪𝗁𝗃𝗲𝗄𝗏 and 𝗠𝗁𝗁𝗃𝗲𝗄𝗏 at the same stage in their last match that we just saw. And that's not to say there's a right or wrong way to play the game, by the way. I wouldn't dare to be so snobbish of two top-class players playing their way. But it is a noted point of difference. Almost played half the amount of pool in terms of frames in the same amount of time. And it will bring the set clock into it. And we've probably got two of the best players at judging time on the tour right now. Carl Morris historically has been unbelievable at judging the clock, but he did have an absolute aberration in this year's Champions League, which makes me question if his abilities are still there. Whereas Stevie Dempsey, very much still one of the very best on tour at managing that match and set clock as it is today.
Yeah, I was wondering what you're talking about. Carl Morris was sending us towards our first ever four-way six-red shootout and lost the clock on a clearance that would have given us the result that would have taken us into the final match of the night with the four-way six-red shootout still alive. Carl very much not happy with this layout.
Maybe feels compelled to go, though.
Might be the same situation as the previous frame, though. It might have been one shot there. The first time, the last frame, it was very much, I'm taking my set and then I'm playing safe. He obviously ended up losing the tactical exchange, but this time around, I think he was playing into that yellow to maybe try and move it to an area where it could become a good breaker ball, and then he was going to reset. But he's nowhere here. Yeah, he's just going to pull back. Stevie might be looking to keep this as a mess. Don't think there's any aggressive plays on. Yeah, he doesn't want to move anything there where it's all a little bit blocking itself. So just going to play up the table a touch. Clever from Stevie. Just really putting it all in the mix and saying, I've got a couple more balls on the table here. I'm going to grind this one. Make a mess, drag this one out, wait for the opportunity. Sometimes you defend with purpose. Sometimes you're progressing the frame. Sometimes you're defending the situation. Sometimes you're running clock. This is very much one where Stevie can't get a positive foothold in the frame, so he's going to try and pull back and contain. Now that he's here, though, does he get a little bit more aggressive? A red off the yellow into left centre could pop everything into play. That miss from Carl could be disastrous for him. No, Stevie still having none of it. Deciding just to make it even worse in there. I think Stevie does have to be slightly careful here. I know there's a lot of reds around the yellow that's a problem, but he can give himself a good angle. Carl was trying to be aggressive previously. Could give himself a good angle on the yellow below the 8 ball to fire in there with pace. Could do it off this ball, but I think it's going to throw too wide. Doesn't want to pot it.
15-second shot clock you play. 15 seconds.
Stevie's winning this battle right now. Just heard that that red's frozen to the cushion, therefore he can't just dink on that. Stevie deciding to be positive here. Two shots haven't gone as he wanted. I know the cue ball's done no work, but the little subtle little nudges he was not hoping to be here. We're at 15 seconds a shot all of a sudden. That sort of forces your hand a little bit. Stevie would like that yellow to drop. Stevie went too early there for me. I said before he got to the table, I felt like he was winning the tactical exchange. The little clever shot that Carl played just to bump the yellow back into a reasonable position that would have meant Stevie would have had to be really careful. Kind of, I think that forced Stevie's hand to touch, and Stevie fell for that. Oh, that's come out nice for Carl. Couldn't come out any better.
Second shot clock, very much a part of this set now. But Carl showing great composure and poise. And that's a lovely shot. Just takes his time. Can't take too long. And it goes. It goes. Thought a shot that has on an outside table, a swan neck might have been coming out.
I'm not sure running the clock down there was worth it, as he's only one in front with 6 to play. But that's what he chose to do. But kind of almost a tactical exchange each in terms of frames won. I felt like Stevie was winning that one and then ended up chasing one that probably wasn't there. Credit Carl with a good job in hanging in there in that exchange, and he's got himself back in front. Still battling away in our other quarter-final that's currently live. John McAllister and Declan Brennan, 3-2 in set 2 to Declan Brennan. 5-1, he won the opening set in that one. Winner of that one will play Craig Waddingham. The winner of this quarter-final will play Christy Caulfield. Fortunate to keep the cue ball on the table, and he's made a couple of balls with a decent layout. Decent, not great. Don't think the red passes bottom left. There's a red in the mix at the top as well. Yellows are slightly awkward at first glance. Maybe yellows aren't as bad as I first thought. I think you can get to the yellow bottom left. If you can get to that potting angle, then every yellow's got a pocket. So yellows are good here. think Stevie might have just come and turned out too far down the table. I think he was playing for the one on the bottom by the red. Wanted to just finish past the straight so he could float back out. Now it looks like he might have to leave it last. Just play. I think there's enough room to play straight in on the yellow, and then depending on his angle, maybe take the 8-ball up the table rather than coming down. Yeah, he's just going to leave it straighter. Take 8-ball top right, top left. It depends on the angle he's got. He could just brush past the red and come back out for it in the centre pocket. A bit more room than I first thought. Good visit to the table for the hammer. Good break clearance. A little bit fortunate with the break to keep the cue ball on the table, but took advantage.
Yeah, and it's starting to get fun, isn't it? It's starting to get really, really fun. We're all square. Less than 5 to go.
And whilst that was happening, Declan Brennan has got himself onto the hill, and that was his break to try and win it. Lovely split, but in-off means that it keeps John McAllister in the hunt. He is 4-2 down in the second set. Needs to win 3 straight. Get himself back all square.
Break 7. How much break? 3 frames.
Four minutes and 1 second for one of these two players to steal a lead away, which might be enough to win the opening set. Cue ball. Oh, it's going to stay on the table. Bounced off the front ball. You can see the cue ball just bounce off the front ball, and it just takes the sting out the break. I think Stevie's got a good look at a yellow, so if he wants to go, it's going to be the red left centre. He's going to play it as a plant by the looks of things. No, he's not. He's going to take yellow. Oh, right, so what a pop that is. Wow. I was thinking yellows are horrible here.
Yeah,
sorry, reds are horrible here. Yellows is what you want. I didn't think he had one. That was an excellent dig. Oh, there misses the next ball.
Did not see that coming.
Oh, no.
Did not see that coming. Oh, dear, oh, dear.
Could be the end of it. This set for Stevie Dempsey.
Extension code.
You've got Carl Morris that, okay, this is far from an easy chance to win the frame and get in front in the set, but he's a master at just torturing you with that match clock.
He's played a good area there, but is he on anything? Is he on anything?
Yeah, the red clips back to right centre, but the cue ball's going into reds, it's going into traffic. He could come out like a dream here, but it could tie balls up. Cue ball. Oh my. Wow, that's the set there, right there.
That's crazy.
Oh, it's so harsh.
That is mad.
It's an absolute sick. Oh, and that's a loose one from Stevie Dempsey. A loose one that he can recover from. He was trying to go past that yellow. He wanted to go past that one, take it to the bottom left corner straight in. Then the one he's playing now is his connection up the table. So it's a reroute at 15 seconds a shot. But there is room, and there's still, I mean, this is a chance he was not expecting. just got to be careful not to allow the red underneath the 8 ball to be a blocker. Just get enough bite on this so that doesn't happen using the right side cushion. Ooh, is he on it? I think so, yeah.
Just about.
Yeah, he's okay.
Good.
He has the next break, but he still wants to run the clock down just enough that if the worst was to happen and he was to break dry, Carl Morris would be limited to time left. That's why he played it on 1 second. He's going to let the cue ball roll.
So 34 seconds. Carl's exiting the arena. And he's just been ushered back in. The set isn't over yet, Carl.
That's very, very unfortunate for Carl. It really is. I mean, he's played a good... The first shot, he overhit the shot a touch. But to go in off with that shot, I mean, that was the set there. Cue ball stays on the table. He runs that out, and he goes in front, and he probably gives Stevie 45 seconds to find a break clearance. Very, very difficult for Carl Morris to take. That's what's going on with Carl Morris. He wanted to leave the arena with 34 seconds to play, and now he comes to the table on Stevie's break and asking for his chalk. The one and only Carl Morris.
Good break from Stevie. Needs a ball, gets a ball. Cue ball in off though.
Yeah, and
Carl hasn't seen it.
Carl's right. Oh my word.
26 seconds. Oh, this would be classic Carl Morris to do this.
He cost himself 5 seconds by getting annoyed.
Not going to reach, and he concedes. So Stevie Dempsey is going to win the first set, and Carl Morris clearly still very upset about it. Mark Goff got a tough job in his hands, wrestling back control of the arena. Carl Morris going to take a breather. So are we. The first set goes the way of Stevie Dempsey. And I can tell you something else. I'm currently looking right in the face of Declan Brennan right now, which means that you have almost certainly won your match against John McAllister. Pop the cans on. Congratulations, Dec.
Yeah, thanks, yeah.
How'd you find it?
Playing well. Playing well. Obviously, I didn't make a mistake until won each of the second set. I won the first set 5-1, and then I missed a bad black to go 2-1 up. Luckily, John went in off. It was the next break after me making that mistake, and from there I went 3-2 up. And then 4-2, won 5-2 then, yeah. So I'm playing well.
Playing beautifully this weekend, mate. Looking forward to your semi-final against Craig Waddingham immensely later on. We're going to let you go. Congratulations. We'll see you later. Great work from Declan Brennan, and lovely impromptu interview there from the Destroyer as well. We'll be back in a second with set number 2 of Morris and Dempsey. Stay with us.
Here we go then, set number 2. Stevie Dempsey has taken the opening set with some drama at the back end, and he's got the first opportunity in set 2 here. And try and get himself going in set 2, and an early start here could take some sting out of this, take some positivity into this second set. Really good layout for the hammer.
Extension call.
He was hoping to go top left, left centre, drop in, and he's got just that turn more angle than he was worrying about. Now he's slightly worried he might just go behind the yellow. He should be able to nip it enough, but he was worried about it, so he's gone back past the yellow to make sure. Eight ball goes left centre, it makes life a little bit easier. It's guarded to get to the left-hand side of it. But it's not a major problem if not. Sure if Stevie was planning to try and make both there or not. The way he struck it makes me think he probably did. Could have got onto the 8 ball from high, but as I say, it's guarded to get onto it bottom right corner, so I thought the best plan was to keep it over the pocket. 8 ball goes left centre. Very nicely done from Hammer. Good start. Morris is probably still reeling off the...
Almost certainly.
The way the back end of that first set ended.
Can't really blame him.
Oh, he was very, very unfortunate. He really was. Good news is, you can see it there, he's found his chalk, which is good. Or he's broken out a new piece.
Must be made of money.
He actually had about 30 seconds there at the back end of that set as well. And it is just about doable, but because he was so disgusted that he saw Stevie make a ball, he kind of just turned away in disgust and cost himself 5 seconds. I think it would have been still just out of reach for him.
This isn't bad.
Flush that break. For me, a really important visit to the table now. Resetting yourself, going again. If you can take out this chance, which is likely to be on reds. Tricky first shot. I don't think the yellow goes past the red to left centre, otherwise you'd be talking about yellows, but it has to be reds. Can he get to the one over right centre? No, plays one off the other, or plays a little controlled shot. No, that was nice. Depending on, it's hard to tell from here but you might be tempted to keep the yellow nearest the left centre pocket. So play the red as he is now from this position, so the yellow doesn't move. Now the 8 ball pops in off the yellow to left centre. Sometimes in that situation, if that shot wasn't on, you'd kind of play the red off the yellow to get the yellow out the way, or maybe even try and get the yellow to move the 8 ball, which wasn't quite on. That's a nice shot. The red, I think, passes the other red to the top right, but going in and out of the top end of the table, coming down past the straight on this red at the bottom, gave him some options. If he just drops that in and he's the other side of straight, then he's got to play around with yellows. So nice shot that was sort of subtle to do it that way round. But he was able to play on this red to top right, which is good. Grimace, that wasn't the best of shots. He can force this one across. I mean, you can see there what he's thinking. Yellow, red off the yellow, so he just has to get back across to the left-hand side of the table or past the yellow. I mean, I've no idea what he's trying to do there. It's a very strange last couple of shots for me. There's no way if the 8 ball doesn't go off the yellow, which I'm pretty sure it does, then maybe the double's the option. Or earlier on in the visit, you clear the pocket and give yourself a window to play on it. But there's no way he's playing position onto the 8 ball there.
What? You say there's no way.
I mean
he has. He has to.
I actually don't think he did. I think he got the shot. I think he potted it maybe in the side of the pocket, got it so wrong. I think he was trying to come back twice across and get above the 8 ball.
Okay. I think maybe he's thought, I'll make the yellow over the hole. I can't really go in off. And if I do that, I'm on the 8 ball at the rail quite nicely.
Then just move the yellow out the way earlier on.
I don't disagree.
Which he could easily have done. That was I'm very confused by the back end of his finish there. I thought the way he went about that, I was convinced that 8 ball was comfortable off the yellow into left centre. Yeah. So, big error. Huge error.
Yeah, that much we can definitely agree on. Stevie Dempsey will go 2-0 up here in no time at all.
Extension call.
In goes the 8 ball. 2-0 to the Hammer.
Stevie's just going to pop out of the arena for a second or two.
Carl Morris made to sit and seethe. Reminder of our semi-final lineup then. Thus far, we have 3 out of the 4 players required for a set of semi-finals. The first one will be played, we hope, around early evening.
It's planned for, if this finishes in 2 sets, so if Stevie wins this set, this first semi-final will be on at 5 o'clock, which I believe is going to be 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 versus Declan Brennan, and followed by the second semi-final, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 and the winner of this one. If this goes to 3 sets, we may have to, we may move it to 6 o'clock and put both semis on at the same time. We're monitoring the situation.
Thank you very much, our live reporter, Simon Webb.
Beauty of having 2 arena tables is you can do that, which is nice. Lovely club here in Red Hill. Cue ball is saved.
Oh, it's just starting to fall for Stevie, isn't it?
And look at this layout. Oh, this is very, very nice. See if there's a reaction from Carl here. He's an animated player in his chair. Of course there is. Oh, Carl, the entertainer. It is really not going his way right now. Some of it self-inflicted, of course, in that previous frame, but I'm still reeling from his bad luck in the back end of the first set. Once this one goes in, it's pretty much certain for the finish. So just has to make sure of this one. And these have actually played really nippy all weekend long. Apollo, rest on Apollo table using here in Red Hill. It's tight down the cushions. Oh, that's about as wide as we've seen one fall in all weekend long. Preferred a couple more rolls down the table to take the left-hand side one first, but it's a little bit thin on that. So either got to check this up or widen it. Widen it is. Just had to avoid the yellow one way or another. But now he's off angle the wrong way. Accepted what he had there. It's just straight enough just to be able to hold it in and take the trickier 8 ball, but this certainly wasn't what he was expecting once he'd made the ball down the cushion. Part of the pocket for the hammer. 3-0. He's got the momentum and he is riding it here. 2 away from the semi-finals for the Irishman. Carl Morris is really feeling it right now. The heat is on. Break and run is exactly what Carl Morris needs right now. He's going to get the opportunity. It's an excellent break. A little bit of work here. Red and yellow have come together, giving something to think about. Get straight into the yellow on this angle. Oh, ouch, and miss it. And knock the next yellow safe. Oh, my. Oh. Carl can't believe it either. You don't want to go into it direct, is what I'd say. I mean, I think he's played into it direct to hit the red, but the yellow's going to then come down the table, probably go into the other red. I feel like the shot there was maybe to come off the cushion and into it. But even then, you're not guaranteed to bump it out. But he went for power over control, and it's really not worked at all.
Apologies. Some allergies kicking in. I'm allergic to bad positional shots.
The only good news from Carl, it did leave him an angle to be able to re-go into it. So, but knocking the other yellow awkward was more of a problem.
That's a terrific shot. He's just got a gap to hit here. This is all about pace. He's looking at the line there. Just glance onto near the middle pocket there. Just glance it anywhere there.
Do you think he can get there and pop the yellow? I feel like he needs to play into the red, which is much tougher.
No, I think he's got a gap. There's a gap there. As long as he's near the rail, just above the middle pocket, I think he's fine. Delicate one. Oh, he's played into it. I told you there was a gap. I mean, what a leave.
That's fine. That's fine. It looks awkward. It's not. He's got a turn of angle here. Knock this in. He can play on the 8 ball.
I feel so vindicated in Carl proving there was a gap there. Didn't
That's
think he'd do it that way.
That's not how he was playing. That's not how you were playing it.
No, absolutely not. What a shot he's played there on that yellow. That's beautifully judged. Carl Morris not going anywhere just yet. 3-1, back in the hunt is Houdini. Needed that. Needed that in a big, big way.
Some reaction from him as well. Just a little reaction as he was getting down on the 8 ball. Still angry, still upset. Leans forward to check the time left in the set. Time left to save his tournament. Hammer will not care about what he's just seen one bit. It's all on his own side of the table. If he keeps delivering great clearances, nothing Carl Morris can do. But that is the first. Stevie was 1 behind, wasn't he? So I think that's the first frame in 6 for Carl Morris. Stevie won the last couple of the last set. The first 3 here. It's a momentum stopper. Stevie's turn to leave loose his chalk. It's another good break from Stevie. May not have a good first ball though. I mean, these reds are a dream. Yellows aren't bad either. I'm sure he's got a good opener on either. He's definitely got pots on, but no good opener. How are you feeling, Stevie? Get down and cue one in. Maybe he's looking at a similar shot to the one that Carl Morris played a few frames ago, where he played off a ball. He is indeed. Very nice. Just tied up a couple of reds, but a couple of reds to the left-hand side. You can get to the left-hand side of them. They both go comfortably to the right. Eight ball plays as a little bit of a blocker. He's not there. Hope for Carl Morris. how close those two reds are to a plant to bottom right corner. They look like they're set a little off, but there's a tougher touch of gap. Is he having a quick look at it, or is he going to use... The problem is he's off straight. Oh, there you go, it's dead set. It's absolutely fine. I mean, even that, I mean, Carl will be seeing that from his chair as well. Even that is a touch. Because Stevie played on the top red of those two into right centre previously and didn't land. So Carl will know that was a little touch for Stevie. Stevie won't care.
No.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I feel for you, Carl.
Can we just do player cam? And
Yeah,
just
can we have him on the whole time?
Carl's just watching every single shot.
You've got some players on the tour that won't give you anything for maybe one thing a match. Someone like a John McAllister, you never see a thing out of him. 𝗏𝗁𝘃𝗀𝗃, you know exactly how he's feeling. Stevie on the brink. That's what he'd be saying to himself. Just keep doing that. Keep delivering break finishes. And ignore what 𝗏𝗁𝘃𝗀 is doing. It'll be a bonus if he can get a chance in the next frame with 𝗏𝗁𝘃𝗀 to break. He has come from behind in a few sets throughout the weekend. Last match against Joe Prince, he was, I think, 4-1 or 4-2 down in the deciding set and was able to turn it around. Slight difference in this one is the 13-19 left in the match.
Frame 6. 𝗏𝗁𝘃𝗀𝗃 to break. 4 frames to 1.
Oh, brilliant break. Deserves a ball. Best break he's hit in the match. And he's going to get a ball. No, he's not. He was walking as well.
Outright, he says.
Stevie's just trying to work it out. The reds are actually laid out better apart from one ball. But that one ball might be enough to make him go yellows. Well, I suppose the yellow on the right-hand side is the equal of the being a problem if he went yellows. So red bottom left is a problem.
Red balls in play.
If he got past the straight, he could have played a loss of turn and got the cue ball under the yellow on the bottom cushion, potentially. It's a difficult ball to work out.
Extension rule.
Takes the one top right now. Is the one past the 8 will go left centre, and can he use that to play the breakout? Potentially, no. He's got other plans.
How do you solve that red ball? It looks like a huge problem.
He's leaving it late, which I'm surprised at. Maybe he's thinking, and he's not there, maybe he was thinking the red that's underneath the cue ball now, if he was a touch further to the right-hand side, it would have all been in his line, but red off the cushion into the yellow and make it in the bottom corner. I'm pretty sure that's what he's played for from after he played his first shot. No. That shot is fairly comfortable if it's all in your eye line. When it's not in your eye line, that is a tough shot to pick out. I'll throw caution to the wind here. Stevie's been a little bit fortunate when he missed to send the red into a really good place for him to contain. Carl's got to be very careful here of the match clock. Clever shot, just get the red out, got the loss of turn. Red going and blocking the yellow top left helps Stevie as the red still goes. Continuing to work quite well for Stevie here. Makes this off the cushion. I think the red might come to the bottom left if he can make this one. He can't. He's put another red back in the mix. That wasn't what he was trying to do. It's another minute or so that's ticked by while this tactical exchange has gone on.
Carl, just take a seat. I'm out.
Referees have made their decision, and it's a big one. It is a big one. Stevie did run it very, very close.
Okay, fine, yeah. Time running.
And a foul's been called, I think. Yeah, it has. Just about keeps Morris in here. Cole playing quicker than our referee, Mark. Mark Goff having to do a very good job out there. And it is a frame on the board. Trails by 2, 7:53 left to play. Just about hanging in there.
I reckon there's a few of Carl's opponents who he's beaten this week who can't believe the speed he's walking around the table there.
Carl having a chat with our referee for there. Not happy.
I have a suspicion that Morris might be being Morrised.
I don't know. There's Christie watching on. Tom Jones as well. Stevie keeps leaving the arena, but he's not going anywhere. He's leaving the arena just to the behind the camera. He's not as though he's walking away and taking a comfort break or anything like that. He's just not being in the arena. Whether he should be allowed to do that or not is a completely another question, and I will bow down to the referees on that situation.
Yeah, I just think Stevie is probably aware it's annoying Carl a little bit.
Oh, and keep doing it. No, it's a,
that's my point.
That's what players would say.
I mean, suspect Morris is being Morrised a little bit.
Yeah. No, it's yeah, Morris has got all the tricks up his sleeve. He's done it for decades. So
Carl needs at least the next 2 frames. He will get a chance in this one.
That's big. That's very big. Red down by the 8 ball's the problem. Oh, has he got the angle to come behind it now? He has, it's perfect. He does, but not enough. He needed to be able to get past the straight or to the straight. Oh, that's good control, though. That's good control if he's on the next ball.
This is thin.
It does go, though. This is okay. The red that he's nearest to does pass to the bottom corner. This is actually all. This is very, very good. Yeah, these connect perfectly. This is an excellent visit at pace.
You've got to say fair play. You really do. Tricky 8 ball, but he's excellent at this kind of shot. Oh, he's played that well. There's a little look at the match clock just to check. He wants every second possible. He's chipping away at the timer now, is Carl. He says it ran a little bit further than it needed to. 2 potential frames left in the set here. Stevie Dempsey on the hill. It's 4-3.
He's still going on about that second. It's a technology thing. The clock does stop on time, absolutely on the button. It might just take that split second through, so it always looks like it's a half a second out, and it isn't. Our refereeing team do a great job. They're absolutely on the ball.
Trailing 4 frames to 3.
Carl Morris on the break. 6.5 to play. 2 more potential frames in this set.
Needs a ball. Needs one.
Come on.
He's aware of how much he needs one.
He's been on the brink throughout the tournament. Felt like Stevie's already had his chance to wrap this one up. He's got another. And a very good one as well. 1 yellow to consider if he goes yellows on the left-hand side, but a couple of balls to deal with it with. Reds, you can make the case that every ball has a pocket, so is that going to force him to go reds? It is indeed. Little bounce, yeah, get that high angle. That's nice.
Gets the red out the way. Just the left side cushion. You will feel that this match is all but over.
Should be plenty of room to get on the red that's by the 8 ball and the yellow. If he felt there was any risk there, he could play into the yellow now with freedom. That tells us there's loads of room. Especially as he could potentially, you know, if he leaves the cue ball somewhere in the middle of the table, just the left-hand side of the middle, he'd just stun into the yellow, hold on the 8 ball that way. So there you go, you see loads and loads of room.
Just in time and just on the far side of the draw as well.
Nearly did it again. He isn't going to get down behind this red now, so middle of the table probably is where he's going to end up.
Yeah, because he put it on the thin side.
He's changed his mind. Wow. I mean, I thought he should have played the other one first, then he plays that shot and he's on the 8 ball. Really surprised with his decision making there. I guess he's forced his hand at 15 seconds a shot. This is far from a gimme.
Brilliant. Fantastic shot from Stevie Dempsey, and this 8 ball to seal a spot in another Ultimate Pool semi-final. The hammer knocks the final nail in Houdini's coffin, and he is through to the last 4 of the Players' Championship. Carl Morris exits the tournament in which he has been superb, but no further he goes from the quarter-final stage. The hammer marches on and is into the semi-finals.